Hello, and welcome back to Let's Be Historians, a podcast where I, the host, and a guest talk about our favorite parts of history. Now, I've got a guest today. Y'all haven't seen them yet. I have more than two friends. Welcome, Kent. Woo!
Hello.
Okay, so, I'm your host as always. You're never going to get rid of me. I'm Lainey. Kent is my friend that I met through unspecified communications class.
Yeah. So there was like this it was like a book sale that
Yes.
the history department was doing, and I grabbed a few about it was like the Enlightenment, the Great Enlightenment in Europe, and also some about like the Romantic movement of like art or whatever. And I was like reorganizing them because I didn't have enough space in my backpack, and they slipped. And you saw them and said hi.
Yeah. I can't even call you a nerd though, because I got a book about the progressive movement in America, which I read a little bit of, but I have not finished the book. But I'm getting off topic. So you know what the topic is, and the listeners know what the topic is because I label these. I put a title on them. And we're talking about the tragic history of pigeons. Now, this is my Roman Empire, okay? I care deeply about pigeons. And, you might be wondering, why do I care so much about pigeons? Because they were wronged. They were wronged. Okay, so...
All I know about pigeons is that movie Valiant. Have you seen that movie?
No.
It's like this old animated movie, and it follows these messengers pigeons.
Wait, actually, I might have seen
And
it.
it's set in World War II.
Yes.
And it's so good. There's like fascist eagles. It's great.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen
And
it
like
once.
the opening it's shocking for a kid's movie. It sets the tone.
There's a couple movies that I've seen that I'm like, whoa, buddy, this is a child's movie. What's happening here? Yeah, I have a particularly strong stance on pigeons. So let's dive into pigeon lore. Except actually, I lied. We're gonna get into some basic information about pigeons, which I guess counts as lore. So the domestic pigeon, or its scientific name, Columba livia, belongs to the Columbidae family, which doves are also in. Now, technically speaking, pigeon is kind of a vague term, as it actually describes like a range of animals. It's like it's a species.
Mhm.
So there isn't just like the gray pigeons you see waddling around. These pigeons are actually a hybrid of wild rock pigeons and domesticated ones.
Oh, wow.
Rock pigeons are native to North America. Or, no, wait, my bad. I read my script wrong. They're not actually native to North America. They are actually from Northern Africa, Southern Europe, Middle East, and Western Asia. The wild variety are often found on sea cliffs and similarly high places where safety and shelter are quite available. Because they're not like super big birds. They're kind of small, so, like my cat has eaten a pigeon. My bad. He's just a fat guy. He needs his food.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
It's true.
So that's like the basic information of a pigeon. One of the earliest recorded tame pigeons belonged to Anacreon, who was a Greek poet and was alive 2,000 years ago. So pigeons have been they were viewed as like pets basically a long time ago.
Yeah, I think like there's a bunch of like old, I don't know if it's Renaissance era paintings, but they're old paintings, and it's like there's nobles and you see them with their pet pigeon.
Yeah, well, people also used to keep squirrels as pets.
That's the other
They
thing
would
as
take their
well.
little squirrels on walks on like leashes. I don't know why, but
Kind of makes sense why you kind of like see them everywhere in cities now.
yeah, I'm getting to that. Spoilers, man.
Sorry.
Later on, another recorded pet pigeon would belong to the Jewish philosopher Philo, who studied and represented contemporary Platonism. Don't ask me what that is. I don't know. I just thought it would be important to mention. I don't know anything about philosophy. Pigeons weren't just pets, though. People would take notice in their ability to find their way back to their nests and homes, which is called like homing. Wow, genius label, really. And so you can capture a pigeon, you can move it a long distance, you can release it, and it's a very strong possibility that they will just find their way back. This would lead to the use of messenger pigeons, and it also, sailors, usually they would use like the stars to map their way. I don't know how to read the stars.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't know any pigeons, but sailors would use pigeons as like guides kind of to the coast. Because sometimes you're in the middle of the sea and you're like, I don't know which way is the land. Where's the land?
Wait, so they just have like this circle And wherever the pigeon goes, that's where home is.
Yeah, I guess.
Huh. Well, I mean, the things migrate. Wait, do they migrate?
Do pigeons migrate? I didn't put that in there, but you can Google it. But basically, it would allow sailors to use pigeons as somewhat as a guide to land. And this can actually be dated back to Greek and Roman times. And while Kent is looking up the information we so desire, now you may be wondering, how did they get here? Did they fly here? No, they didn't fly. European colonists brought the domesticated bird to America around the early 1600s, where inevitably, much like the random flock of parrots that live in my city, they would escape and become a feral population. There's a random flock of parrots in my city, and like you go down to the beachfront and they're just there, and I'm like, there's just parrots here.
One time, my sister got mugged by a seagull for her peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It was like straight from her hands.
Oh my god!
And also for the former part, pigeons do not migrate.
Okay.
But to be fair, the only thing I saw was New York Times and Quora. And have you ever been on Quora before?
I have.
It sucks.
It's so
it's bootleg Reddit.
It is. Okay, that actually reminds me. My sociology professor brought up Reddit, and she was saying something, and I didn't say anything because I know how Reddit works, but nobody wants to admit they know how Reddit works. Like in high school, I think someone like my teacher was like, does anyone know what an AMA stands for? And I was like, ask me anything.
That's horrible.
And they were like, we got a Redditor here. And I was like, I can't ever come back to this class.
I know, but like the hyper specific communities, like recently I've joined one called Lifeguard Kitties, and it's literally just pictures of like owners in the bathtub and their cat comes and watches them because it's like, why are you getting wet?
Yeah.
They don't get it.
I'm in a couple of them. I'm in the Inscription subreddit because I like to post about my failures in the game. Which, fun fact, I got that game January 4th. I have over 110 hours in that game, which is supposed to take 30 hours. I just keep playing it because it's so fun.
I think I finished it in like 2 days.
Shut up. It took me 3. It took me 3 days because I suck.
That was a good game, though.
I had a card that was literally labeled #1 Leshy Hater, and it was like one of my death cards.
I just really liked every time the ferret came out.
Yeah. Well, okay, I would play a card, and they'd be like, bad play, and I'd be like, okay, how about you shut the fuck up? Who is stuck in a card? Who's stuck in a card right now? Not me.
Well...
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say, isn't that what happens at the end of every run?
No comment. No comment. I've been stuck in a game multiple games. I can't speak.
You'll get there.
Thank you. I've been stuck in cards multiple times, I guess, because I died, like, a lot. So basically, like, as all Europeans do. No, wait, that's not right. As many Europeans have done, they bring things over, and they escape, and then you're stuck with them forever because you can't get rid of them. This would happen again, though. In Australia, they would repeat this again in 1870.
Makes sense.
Like, they were like, you know what we should do again? We should bring these birds that are now, like, unbelievably, like, what's the word? I don't know, they're just, like, everywhere in America, and we're going to do it again, like, 200 years later.
It feels like Australia is just, like, the dump.
I mean, it kind of was, because there was, like, a jail. It was Jail Island.
Well, I mean, there's the Outback, which supports a lot of agriculture, but not much else.
The emo wars, my beloved.
Oh, God.
But, you know, pigeons were also used in ancient times. Well, wait. Pigeons weren't just used in ancient times. Why are there so many typos in my script? Past, Lainey, what the hell were you doing? But pigeons have been used as recently as World War II. They were used by the UK to carry messages past enemy lines. Because sometimes you can't tap a pigeon.
True.
You can't. Well, you could decode the message if you caught the pigeon. But
well, I mean, there was other methods. Like, I heard that one story. Oh, I forgot his name. But, like, they would literally feed him, like, a whole box. And he would have to, like, regurgitate the box.
Oh, my God.
Or came out the other end. I don't really remember the specifics of the story, but...
The very vague story.
I prefer the pigeon method.
Yeah, pigeon method, for real. But they would eventually... By, like, 1948, they would stop using the bird. So, yeah, that's kind of, like, the general history of pigeons. I didn't want to go too into depth because a lot of times when I do these scripts, I have the bad habit of, like, trying to do too much detail, and these episodes already get, like, 40 minutes long. like my sandwich episode, I was like so close to reading like Jewish script because it had to do with sandwich, like something sandwiches were mentioned, and I was like, am I gonna read this? And then I was like, I don't have time to read this.
Dig into like the Yiddish and Hebrew.
So I'm like, maybe not this time. But we're not done yet. There's still more. But this isn't like, this is kind of the history, but also like general stuff. So obviously pigeons are like hated now. People have beef with them. Not me though. I love them. Which fun fact, you can just grab one off the ground.
Like they're just chill like that?
Well, I mean, you're legally allowed to.
Oh, so if you can.
You don't need a permit for a pigeon. You do. You know what you need a permit for though? Sometimes raccoons.
What?
Yeah, certain states you have to have like a permit for raccoons. Also, possums. I don't know if you need a permit here, but
I mean, like, how did they even enforce that?
someone snitches
True.
because people
But
hate.
if I have like a little fat raccoon in my backyard, you're not just gonna like leave me alone. He's not even gonna climb the fence.
No, there's like people I see on TikTok who like feed like swarms of raccoons. I'm like, you're living my life. That's what I want.
Just like go to the woods and regress.
Go to pigeon. Pigeons weren't always seen in a negative light, because originally people like looked at pigeons and they saw animals have like habits that they do, and like pigeon habits were like seen like positively because they're very similar to like human habits. So they're like monogamous. When they mate, they have like one partner for life, unless they like die, I guess. I don't know. And both parents would take care of the offspring. So like if your pigeon marriage had a pigeon child, pigeon family.
You think there's pigeon divorce? Oh my god, that's another one of the niche Reddit communities. It's called divorced birds.
What?
Yes, it's a real thing. And it's just like these birds, and they're like really exotic, and they look like they have like these scarves on, and every one of them, like their title, it's just like Janet is very upset over the alimony payments this month, and it's literally just like this exotic bird.
That's actually quite funny. I will need to look into this later.
You see, Reddit has a lot of pros, and a lot of creeps. But
Yeah, 100%.
that's why I lurk.
Honestly, yeah, I do have a Reddit account that is like 4 or 5 years old, but I can't even remember why I made it.
I think mine's about like 7 to 8 years old now, and not to brag, I have about 800 karma.
Okay. I think I only have like 50, but I've only done like 3 posts.
The main way you do it is just comments.
Yeah.
Go to latest comments and just be the first comment and try to make something funny.
No, I posted like one of the death cards I had for inscription, and people started commenting, and that was like my most upvoted post. My second one was when I posted my pixel art on Pixel Art, and a Garfield drawing that I did. Number 1 Garfield fan right here.
It's true. Lainey can speed paint it.
I can. I love Garfield. Don't ask why. It like a sleeper message. One day I saw Garfield and I was like,
Do you remember? I think that movie also came out around the same time as Valiant, the CGI Garfield.
don't talk about that.
Whoa. That's childhood right there.
Actually, my favorite movie, which is I consider it my childhood, but other people hate the movie. Live action, Cat in the Hat.
That was the movie that made Mrs. Seuss be like, no more live action movies for the sake of my husband's legacy, that's kind of weird considering their whole marriage.
Yeah, honestly, it was kind of bad. No, but like I fucking love that movie. I think it's so stupid.
No, it is pretty ridiculous.
I also what's the movie? Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I love that movie. I did finally watch Indiana Jones.
How was it?
It was good. It was alright.
Yeah, I guess.
The ending was really stupid.
Okay, well...
Lasers? What? Why were there lasers?
Well, you could argue that the ending to Monty Python and the Holy Grail was stupid.
Yeah, but the whole movie was stupid. That was the whole point.
Well, do you know what the story is behind the ending? For Monty Python, at least?
I haven't seen that movie in like a year, so it's like out of my mind.
So it's like they're warming up for this massive battle or whatever, and literally the producers of the movie ran out of money. So they're like, so they just called the cops and recorded it.
Oh yeah, okay,
Well,
I
they
remember now.
allude to the cops showing up earlier,
Well,
like
yeah,
throughout the movie.
because there's like that part where they like run over some dude, and the wife is all like, "You killed my husband," and it's like, "Oh dang, that sucks." Rip that dude. I guess he's not actually dead though.
It's just a movie.
It's not real. Yeah, so like basically, pigeons were for lifers. Unlike my parents.
Oh.
I shouldn't have made that joke. Whoops. You know what? I'm gonna keep that in because I think it's funny. But pigeons are also pretty smart. They were bred and trained for sports.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so there's like pigeon racing, and like certain breeds are really good at doing like tricks.
I don't know what it is. I heard some article somewhere where there's like pigeon gang wars happening now.
Honestly, probably.
Where it's like pigeon keepers, because like they have like this massive nest, and these other guys have this massive nest, and there's just because they have territory.
Yeah.
But then again, this is from my memory, from the internet.
Yeah.
Feel free to pursue your own research, but
Yes, please do. Never. If anyone ever sourced my podcast as like references, I'd be like, please don't.
I always try to explicitly say out loud that I found it online.
This was all used through Google.
Well, you know what my favorite quote is of all time, right?
Maybe.
Abraham Lincoln. Don't believe everything you read on the internet.
So real, obviously. There was like this fucking TikTok I saw, and it was like someone like misquoting Dostoevsky, but like they were putting something that
that's horrible. I hate that guy.
no, but like they put something that he 100% did not say. It was like something stupid, right? And it was like, and I was like, can't even remember what it was. No, off topic again because I love doing that. I cannot go on TikTok. I cry every single time.
No, like the other day, I'm just scrolling, having fun, sending my friends like these funny videos, and then like all of a sudden I get hit with, my best friend is on the beach forever now because she buried her dog on the beach that like he loved to play on all the time.
See, it's like, it's so tragic. I'm like, I was watching funny cat videos.
I mean, it gets me off my phone.
No, literally, I have to like stop myself from like getting on there now because I am a big Jujutsu Kaisen fan. It's a little rough out here right now.
I really need to get on to season 2 because I just now finished Zero.
Literally, I like didn't watch it for so long for my mental health because it's like so many people keep dying.
Oh no, I hear a bunch of them are just gone.
I'm like, what's the point of this? I just can't do it anymore. People just keep posting sad edits, and I'm like, I'm not happy anymore.
Recently, my girlfriend got me into watching The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm just desensitized.
See, I have seen 5 episodes of The Walking Dead.
Honestly, I can't blame you. It's really rough in the first 2 seasons, especially when they're in the first bit of the prison, but the second half of the prison's pretty nice.
I just know there's like a tiger.
Oh my god. I stopped watching when that tiger got introduced, by the way. And she keeps on saying, well, like, there's a point. There's, like, we're only doing it because, like, theatrics and people follow us. But you have a tiger and your place is called the Kingdom. And the way the Kingdom is introduced is, like, these 2 characters of the main society, like, pass out in a field or whatever. And these 2 guys riding up on horses.
What?
Wearing shoulder pads, like football shoulder pads. And like spears, they show up, and I turn, and I'm like, if these guys are called the fucking Knights, I'm done. And they say, come with us to the Kingdom.
That's so real of you, to be honest. There's like tons of shows that I've like stopped though, because I cannot handle secondhand embarrassment.
Well, I'm just gonna do what I did with JoJo and Attack on Titan. As soon as the plot started to get, I just started reading it.
Yeah,
it's just better.
I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I want to get like the tattoo on my back shoulder.
Oh, the star?
Yeah, because I'm cliche as fuck.
It is very nice.
I'm just basic, man.
But like, each part does really, because I remember Steel Ball Run was a lot, and I was just like, okay, let's get into JoJolion. and now the plot's abstract.
It's so weird. See, my favorite one is part 4, Crazy Bizarre Town.
Well, because that's just like a slice of life.
They're just doing silly things.
I think one of my favorite episodes is when it's Tony, right? Yeah. And they're fighting the food stand. Pearl Jam. Oh, it's so good.
I love...
Well, that's the name, not localized.
Yeah.
What's the localized name?
I don't remember.
I think wait. Did they Yeah, they did, because they did Stone Ocean.
Okay, yeah.
They have Flaccid Pancake. That's my favorite localized name.
So I love when because the localizations are so stupid, but in the best way possible. Like, Dirty Deeds Done Cheap is just like, okay.
It's Filthy Acts at a Reasonable Price.
Yeah.
That's the localization. It's ridiculous.
It's like, why did you come up with that? Like, it's...
Copyright. I hate it.
Alas. But hey, we're supposed to be talking about pigeons here. What are we doing, man? That was my bad, though, actually. But yeah, pigeons are super smart. To be a pigeon.
I feel like that would be nice. Well, it would kind of suck. I feel like every 3 nests or spots to rest, I'd just find a spike.
Yeah, because people have beef with birds.
Does your research have anything about all the hostile architecture towards birds?
I didn't, but I do know a little bit of it.
Because I know there's spikes everywhere.
Yeah, literally. Which is really funny because then I see birds still having nests there. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, well then what was the point?
Well, I also heard it just doesn't help anything, and it just ends up hurting the birds more anyway.
Yeah. Funny thing, pigeon meat was also used for medical stuff. They just thought it would help with the plague and other diseases.
What? Oh. There's this excerpt where it's during the Black Plague. The Pope is horrified of getting it because he's old. So if he catches it, he's gone. So back then they believed that fire cleansed germs, which is very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
high heat does. They were onto something. There,
but the Pope would literally be surrounded by 2 massive hearths of flame, at all times, and he'd be sweating profusely.
I mean, did he catch it?
I think he ended up going through it, but the Catholic Church lost a lot of cred because they're like, well, if you're so cool and divine, why is this plague making you so spooked? Priests wouldn't even do the reading. What is it? When you die, they read something?
Oh, your last rites.
Yeah, your last rites. They weren't even doing that because they were scared of getting germs.
Dang.
I know.
But, now that we're here to the fact that people actually like pigeons for a bit, why are they so hated on? Much like rats, disease.
I was just thinking about the germs, yeah.
Okay, so originally it was house sparrows that people had beef with. They were a nuance. They were also a non-native species to America, and they would just, kind of... other birds were dying, or, they blamed other birds dying due to, over competition. Do you know what that is?
So there's too many animals, fighting over the same amount of food?
Correct.
Got it.
Yeah. And they were thought to be dirty and immoral. Now, a article that I was reading for this made an interesting parallel, and it was that, whenever sparrows were being hated on was also when a bunch of immigrants were coming to America, and they were also hated on. So you can see a little bit of a parallel, though. I didn't put it in my script, but sometimes when I read stuff, it sticks in my head. So I was like, let me bring that up.
That makes sense.
They were blamed for the decline in native bird species, and now we get to the pigeon hating. In 1963, 2 deaths were reportedly due to disease spread by pigeons, which eventually snowballed into what we have today, which is pigeon haters.
So, were they actually from pigeons, or is it just some reporter claiming that?
The article that I read it from didn't, and I usually only gather from max 4 articles, which is not a lot, but there's too much information in all of them, especially when I do kind of weirdly broad but also specific topics like this. There was another one that I was reading, and I was like, this is too much background information. I can't put this in here. But yeah, it's the tragic story of pigeons.
I know there's a cultural thing where some cultures view a bird pooping on you as good luck, where some other cultures view a bird pooping on you as bad luck.
I think it's gross.
I know, but It's weird to think about.
Yeah. I mean, cultures are, like, weird because they're, like, so different, and it's really just because of where you were. Because, like, for a really long time, people didn't, like, interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody fucking went anywhere. They were like, this is where I live. This is where I die. Something's in my eye.
That rhymed.
I suddenly turned into Dr. Seuss. Somebody get me a hat.
You did have an affair on your wife?
No, I don't have a wife. I cannot talk to women. Real. They scare me. But yeah. Thank you for listening to this episode. And also, sorry YouTube listeners that episode 3 is not did not get uploaded on YouTube at the same time as Spotify. I kind of forgot to upload it, and so that'll yeah, it's going up in the same time as this episode, so I hope you all enjoy. And you know what? Oh, I just remembered something. So, my secret ploy. I actually invited you here for one reason and one reason only.
Huh.
Can you do your duck impression?
What?
Thank you. That was literally, I was like typing this up and I was like, I have an idea. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed the duck impression. Actually, you know what? Rate the duck impression in the replies, because you can reply on Spotify.
Oh.
And that is all. Bye-bye. Say bye, Kent.
Bye.